100% dog, 110% dog. Like, that should be the label on Nate Landwehr as a fighter, as a package, 1000% dog. You're going to have to kill this man to get him out of there, which is why I was so surprised, AJ. A few fights ago, when Nate Landwehr got stiffed by Julian Erosa with the flying knee, I was like, man, because I had bet on Nate Landwehr, and I was like, man, what happened to that dog? You know, I thought something happened. That's what happened when he catch a nasty knee. Now, let's talk about this. David Onama, man, a sharpshooter. Young in the game, in the big show, but he's a sharpshooter, had a hefty test against Nate Landwehr, which, if he didn't take the actual good advice that everybody gives, which is when your fighter goes down, you get on top and you don't stop punching because the referee's going to stop the fight. But when that doesn't work, AJ, and the referee doesn't stop the fight, well, you gas yourself out. And now we've talked about this, the worst place you ever want to find yourself ever is locked in a cage with a man who's trying to take your head off and you're dead tired. And that's where David Onama found himself. I want your opinion on this. Are you more impressed that David Onama was able to avoid a finish for 2 rounds, being gassed as ever against Nate Landwehr, a bona fide killer? Or are you disappointed that he gassed himself out after 1 round in a lopsided round where he was beating the brakes off of Landwehr? What do you think?
A little more upset, a little more feel like let down. That Onama, man, emptied that gas tank, was looking for the finish, and then literally didn't get it back until I'd say maybe 2 minutes 2 minutes left in the 3rd round, where he was finally, hyping the crowd up. Excuse me, Derek. Hyping the crowd up, getting people going, and flexing a little bit. He was in a big mental battle right here as well, man. I think that was a kind of a big takeaway. This is going to be a big learning lesson for David Onama, that even his coach came in and he was like, do not let this dude break you mentally. Like, that is the worst thing that can happen, because you're already tired physically. Now you're getting tired mentally. It's going to be a rough one, but all credit to Nate, man, because that was an absolute crazy fight back and forth. And I do feel like Nate Landwehr could have got the finish a little bit, like round 2, when he started just kind of doing the pot shots and just walking away and letting him get up and stuff like that. So as much as it was a very entertaining fight, we probably could have seen a finish.
Brother, I honestly think that's what took the soul of a David Onama in that fight, even though it wasn't completely taken, because he still lasted in there. He still came up, had some of that hyping the crowd up. But when you're getting beat up on and all you can do is lay down on the ground and just try to survive, right? And then Nate walks away, literally hyping up the crowd, so much so that the referee's like, hey, turn around, let's fight. And he's just so like, no, what's up, gladiator style, right? That takes your soul. That breaks a man right there. And he did that multiple times. So I was like, Landwehr is so confident that he's going to win this fight that he doesn't care. He'll just walk away. Like, whatever. You keep getting up. I'm going to keep putting you back down, and we're going to rinse, wash, repeat. And that's what got them the $50K each bonus for the fight of the night. This was a bona fide fight of the night right here. This was a great fight. What I took away, though, right here is that Nate Landwehr is that formidable guy. And this is one of those ones where I was like, this can be an upset. Landwehr can upset you. You have to, but that's the thing. Just imagine if the referee was just a little quick on the trigger and they just pulled him off and Onama gets the TKO first round. Then we'd be having a completely different conversation here. It's just a matter of when it turns into a dogfight, it doesn't really matter who's the more technical, more proficient fighter, because when you're tired, all of that goes out the window. All that matters at that point, AJ, would you agree, is who is a bigger dog?
Yeah, exactly. And Nate is proved 100, like you said, 1,000% dog all the time. Really put it on display right there for everybody to see.
Do you think, AJ, and I'm not, listen, this is hypothetical. Maybe we can create it ourselves here on the Bloody Water podcast, right? But they got undisputed champion, interim champion, BMF. You need to have the biggest dog belt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Who got the most heart? Who got the most? Because the BMF, Nate Diaz and who did he fight? Masvidal, right?
Yep.
Come on, brother. Let's talk about dogs. Let's put in the Nate Landwehr's, and who's another legit dog? Can you think of off the top of your head right now in the UFC? Like a dude who brings it?
The Dentist, The Damage. There's a couple out there.
Dentist ain't even in the UFC anymore.
In the UFC, I was actually thinking The Damage. Darren Elkins was the one that came to mind. That's another dog.
They already fought, and Landwehr broke him. So the biggest dog goes to Nate Landwehr, man. That's all I got to say. I will say I was still very impressed by David Onama. Absolute sharpshooter, absolute stud. If he would have kept his cardio, I'm sure he would have won the fight. I'm not sure of anything. It's a fist fight. You never know. But all ups to Nate Landwehr. He cashed in on the plus 550 decision prop right here, which is, I mean, come on, man. If you bet Nate Landwehr by decision, okay, good. I mean, listen, man, good on you. I did not see that coming. Look at the odds makers, didn't even see it coming. They said, aside from the long shot submission, he's not going to decision. He'd be better off knocking him out. And even then, that's going to be a crazy odd. So shout out to Nate Landwehr. He did.